I'm back. I want to talk about something along the lines of mental game, and specifically the concept of patience, which a lot of you lack. A lot of you lack. Now, I've spoken about patience many times in the past. I want to give you a good example of what I'm talking about. If what I've already given you is not enough up until now, I don't know what else you need to hear, but hopefully this will open up the mind of some of you. Now, a lot of you have, over the years, been very critical. You post up your snarky comments. You wait. Why should you have to wait? A lot of you are very, very immature when it comes to this concept. Immature just in general. I mean, you look at the comments, but I mean, patience is a key ingredient to success. If you have a fundamental outlook, a macroeconomic outlook, and if those conditions do not change, you have to stay focused and stay patient in that position and manage it so that you are able to sit with that position for the duration until it reaches its potential. Many of you, like I've said so many times in the past, you're really not after profitability or success. You're after action. You're after the stimulus. Right? This idea that you can't wait, this neediness, this need to have it now, this pursuit of instant gratification. You want a system that's going to give you money every single day or maybe every week. You can't be bothered with waiting a month or 3 months or a year or 2 years. Now, let me give you an example of what I'm talking about. Today, it was reported that Elliot Management, that's a big hedge fund run by this guy, Paul Singer. He's a very well-known activist investor. I don't really like the guy. I mean, he's done some things in the past which I think are questionable. But you can't question the guy's success. Now, he took a big stake in AT&T today. And like I said, the guy's an activist investor, so what his type of investors do, they get involved, they take a big position, and then they have some flexibility, they have some muscle, they can get representatives on the boards of these companies, they could push or pressure for changes, like divesting certain assets, this sort of thing. But Paul Singer went into this position today saying that he believes by the end of 2021, that is more than 2 years from now, he believes the stock will double. All right? This guy went in with a $3.2 billion stake, already in his head thinking it's going to take me at least 2 years for my investment to pay off. Now, this is the type of thinking that I'm talking about. And I've given you examples many times about Warren Buffett. Now, he's the number one example because he's what, the third or the fourth richest guy in the world. He never invented anything. He never created any company, right? He invested in stocks his whole career. The guy's worth like $100 billion. Buffett says he'll never get involved in a stock that he doesn't think he can hold for at least 5 years. Now here's Paul Singer of Elliot Management saying, hey, I'm going to take a position in AT&T today, or whenever he took it recently. I'm sure they accumulated shares and then they announce it or it becomes known. But his objective is more than 2 years out in the future. The guy's a billionaire. What he does is invest. Some might call it trading, some might call it investing. Now he's had similar forays and similar moves that he's made in he's a big kind of a vulture investor. I mean, he goes into distressed bonds. He went into distressed bonds of Argentina several years ago. Now those didn't pay off, but what he did was he got his friends in the government, in the US government, to pressure Argentina. He used the court system. He sued. They seized assets. They pressured Argentina. Now, he rightly deserved to lose on that position. That was a bad position, and I mocked him for it. because he got involved without the proper understanding. However, in this particular case, I think it's important to understand, or to see, for you guys to see, that here is a very, very successful individual who understands the concept of time. He's not saying I'm taking a $3.2 billion stake and next week I'm making double my money. Some of you are like, I want to double my money tomorrow, or worse, I want to double my money today or in 5 minutes. That is immature. First of all, let me tell you, if that works, if you were lucky enough to find a system like that works, you would never be able to scale that up. Because if you find something that doubles your money in the next 10 minutes or the next hour or today, and you become successful at doing that, and you want to grow that approach, you can't. Because the more money you handle, or the more money you manage, and you try to do that in 5 minutes or an hour or in a day, the market is not going to afford you that opportunity. You become too big for that approach to become successful. But the way Singer does it, and what I teach, this idea of mental game, this idea of having a macro picture, this idea of having patience and discipline, this idea of ridding yourself of emotion which causes self-sabotage, that is scalable. That's something you can begin small and work up to whatever level. So understand, look it up. Go into Google and Google Elliot Management, Google AT&T. The guy's looking out more than 2 years now, saying that's when I am hoping to get my return. And he's not looking for a 10 times return. He's not looking for a 5 times return. He says, in more than 2 years from now, I anticipate I can double my money. That's why the guy's a billionaire. It's about approach. It's about mental maturity, mental game, patience, having a vision, and sticking with it. That's how it works. Whether you're talking about investing in stocks, or investing in commodities, or the Forex market, or anything else, real estate. You buy a house, you buy a property, it doesn't double tomorrow, it doesn't double in a week. But some of the biggest fortunes in this country or throughout the world are made in real estate. Time makes you rich. Bye.